what do people want, actually?
That's a good question. One of the things I hear a lot of is people talking about wanting community and how they feel disconnected, and how if only there were a place where they, if only they could get together, like everybody's so disconnected, which is such a weird conversation. Wouldn't you think? Like, what does that actually mean? I feel disconnected and lonely. Oh, do you go out of your house?
Yeah, why are we disconnected?
Yeah, why are you disconnected? Because, do you feel disconnected, Colette?
Not at all.
No, I don't either. So it's an interesting complaint. Actually, I'm like, what does that actually mean? And what are they actually complaining about? And are they just complaining for the sake of complaining?
So we want connection.
Okay.
What else do people want?
They want, I think people complain about, they're afraid. They want like the security of knowing that they're safe, and that
The comfort that everything stays sort of hunky-dory, status quo.
Status quo, for sure.
Without much change, or
nothing
that's sort of rumbling the ground beneath us.
Right? Is that need to be like, that's so curious to me. It's like I want these things, and yet I want status quo because change is uncomfortable. Like, I'm afraid everything's changing around me and I don't understand it. It's not the way it was.
Okay, what about rightness and wrongness? People want to be right all the time, and there's like so much mixed story out there about the best way to do whatever, the best way to live, and the best way to eat, and the best tools for certain things, or how to accomplish whatever, and the best car to drive, and the best part of the world to live in, and the best people to vote for, and
best politics, and the best environmental practices, or not.
And then we see there's so much like rightness and wrongness happening in that conversation.
That one seems to be on steroids right now. It's like this pointing fingers of, if only they were more like me. I remember having this conversation, and it just got so ridiculous, because it was like, oh, like those people, they've drunk the Kool-Aid, and those people, they're so indoctrinated, and those people, and I'm like, so what you're telling me is if everybody was exactly like you, living life the way you're living it, then the world would be a better place for everybody. Like, is that...
Yes.
Right? And they were kind of like stopped in their tracks, and we're like, oh, well.
All right. Doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Okay, so there's like all these things we can think of. We just come up with a list of like the stuff we commonly hear and see and witness as far as what people want, and what is anyone doing about those things that they want that is actually working. So people want community, or they want connection, they want social fulfillment,
Yeah.
or they don't want to feel alone. And like, what are they doing to...
It's so
for
fascinating.
that?
I think there's this huge sort of victim mentality that people want it done for them. Because I kind of function from this. When somebody says I want something, I can't help myself but to function from this place of, well, let me help you have it. And so then I create this space for the thing that they're, a collective of people are saying, if only we had. So I create the space for it, and then the same people who complain don't come. And I'm like, wow, that's fascinating to me. It's actually, there's more of a attachment to living the story that they're, the grief that they have. They'd rather continue to live the grievance that they have, than actually take a step towards doing it differently.
Which is exactly the same concept as what we were talking about with rather be right, playing that right and wrong game. Rather be right than at peace, for example.
Right.
Which is...
Oh my gosh, I just thought, like, I'd rather be right. Sorry for cutting you off, but I'd rather be right. Because if I take a step towards changing that, then now I'm wrong about what I was saying. So as long as I can rant about the thing that is giving me discomfort in my life. But if I actually take a step towards making that experience in my life different, like showing up to something and connecting with people,
Yeah.
then now the rant that I have to look at that and go, oh,
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Right.
And people don't want to be wrong.
No.
So it's almost like the average person is more connected to being right in their discomfort.
More sort of hell-bent on staying where they
Yeah.
are than
Right?
taking a step or choosing a different way that, puts them on shaky ground or something.
Yeah, there's comfort in the discomfort because it's familiar.
Right.
Whereas taking a step and doing it differently is an unknown.
Yeah. And makes me have to confront parts of myself that I'm otherwise insecure about, or I'm otherwise, or, I have shoved away for so long, or...
Right? Like maybe it's easy for you, Jill, because you're a social person and you like hanging out with people, and so I'm just going to stay here in my discomfort and not learn how to be with people, and not learn how to initiate conversation,
and just keep wishing and complaining about not having a different way of life.
Yeah. I know. It's like, oh, I know. And
what
so,
can be done about this?
I don't know. I mean,
what can be done about this? Everybody wants something that they don't have.
yeah.
And it isn't a thing. It's not a something. Everybody wants a way of life or a beingness or an experience of life that they don't currently have. And we know they need to be willing to step into a new way.
Yeah.
That's so valuable, or experiencing something new, like at our most recent retreat.
Yeah, that was so lovely. We had so many people that came to that by surprise because they won a raffle. So they really didn't know what they were getting into. And they would have never looked up, like, I want to go on a retreat. Like, there was that kind of people there. Like, I want to go on a retreat and make the move towards making a change. But because they won the raffle, it's like, oh, I just won something.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up at whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Cool place, neat part of the world, beautiful, days off.
Yeah, right? Days off.
Have
and
the experience.
whatever that is.
Curated.
Adventurous enough to be willing to step into a bit of unknown there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, I had one of the participants come up to me and say, in fact, an elder participant who never, ever dreamed of doing any of this work ever.
And lived their whole life a certain way.
Yeah, very fixed way. And they said, they don't have complaints about their life, but they said, I will remember this for the rest of my life. This was the best 4 days I have ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and
wow.
It wasn't because we were partying.
No. It was
and having a footloose and fancy free time.
right. There was crying, there was laughter, there was
bonding, there was opening, there was new perspectives, there was learning.
Tasks that they were sent out to do that they'd never done before, like,
Stories
head out.
they never heard.
Right? Yeah, all of it. And listening to other people's stories, and they were like, wow.
And getting to know their own story in a different way that they never thought of before.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful opportunity. So it's crazy because getting the individual over that hump of like, just come, trust me. Like, trust me. You will walk away feeling better about yourself and your life, not because that's changed, but something inside you shifts. And the resistance is amazing.
Palpable.
Yeah, palpable is a good word. I was taught it's 1% of 10% is willing to do the work, to walk over that hump. Wow.
So little.
And I'm so grateful. I'm one of those 1%.
Me too.
My life is like exponentially so much easier from a place of not that I have more money and not that I have more friends and not that I have better health. Like all of that is pretty status quo. But there's this peace in me that comes to every situation in such a different way that I can't buy that off the shelf. I can't get that from a bottle. I can't go to the health food store and say, you know, we do that though, right? People do that. It's like, I feel so stressed out. Well, here, try this adaptogen. That's what's popular right now. Try this adaptogen. Okay, good,
Yeah,
but
support yourself.
and
Find another way of being that you're not so stressed out. So, like, what is it, like, this is what we got to talk about. This is what the people need to know. What does it take? Like, what does it take for you to be one of those 1% of 10%?
Yeah.
In the first place, what do you gotta do? Like, seems like a little bit of bravery is that.
I think you're right. I think
hand.
the bravery is for me, it's like rooted in knowing that there is another way. Like
and that the way that we do currently know right now is not fixed, and it's not necessarily right.
Right.
And it's
So-
definitely not the only way.
Like I can be in conversation and have my panic voice come in and maybe I'm not even aware of it, but I'm more aware today than I ever have been of like, run away, this is dangerous, you need to leave, you need to tell that person some terrible word and then bust out of here fast. And so I can now be aware of that panic, run away, this is unsafe, and then aware enough to go, is it? And what's on the other side if I stay here?
Right.
And having, you're right, it's courage. Having the courage to go, I want to run away so bad, but I have been told that there's something on the other side of that. I'm willing of staying, yeah. I'm willing to stay long enough to see what's on the other side. And I think the courage becomes less of a thing because more and more the results of that is like, oh yeah, it's way better on the other side. When I give energy to this voice that says run away, everything stays scary.
Mm-hmm.
When I allow myself to go, come on, you can stay in this conversation, you can stay in this situation, you can walk through this, and I get to the other,
discomfort.
yeah, and the discomfort, and walk through on the other side and go, woo, wow. I had no idea there was another way,
Mm-hmm.
and here I am, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't so bad after all. It's like that one more step. I guess that's what it takes.
In the first place.
A little bit of risk and trust me,
Yeah.
I've done it.
Trust me, I've done it.
Follow us, you know, like that kind of thing is that, yeah. Because, you know, the people that I know that stay in their disgruntledness about their life or their world, 10 years from now, they're still disgruntled about their life and their world. Nothing's changed. If nothing changes, I mean, one of those things. But it's like, oh, I love this analogy of, you know, all we have to do is like make that 1 degree. It doesn't need to be a big change. But when we make that 1 degree and then we go into the future, it's like
exponential.
It's exponential.
Mm-hmm.
So those little baby steps along the way, each time.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit of bravery and what is it? The part of you that that's like open and willing to question your own sureness about life. Like you need the bravery to step into something. You also need the capacity to go, maybe my way could be different. Maybe this, what I think I know, I don't actually know. Like, maybe there's more than meets the eye. Maybe there's more than I've learned thus far.
Yeah, I always want to go back to, like, there's over 8 billion people on the planet. How can my way be the only way? Like, maybe there's another way. And, you know, I remember, you know, when I was younger and watching people perform on a stage and going, wow, they're so great.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the thought of what makes them great is they're willing to stand on stage and do what they're doing big, right? And so it's not even so much that the thing that they're doing, but their willingness to be big in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, like if I want to have bigness, if I want to have that so great in my life, I have to be willing to just be a little bit bigger in the parts that I know are great for me. Like if
And
passing,
you have to be willing to get on stage.
and you have to be willing to get on stage, right? So passing somebody down the street, and I know when I smile, they smile back 99% of the time, and that gives me a little ooh, then I'm going to be bigger in that. Hey, hi, how you doing? Right? Making that little connect, and it always works. It's like, wow, like, and then what's come back to me in time is people say, you're always so friendly with everybody. And I'm like, yeah, everywhere I go, there's friendly people. Because I've taken that to be the thing that I want to be big about and stand on the stage with and say, yeah, life's always, people in life are supporting me all the time.
Right, not looking for the problems, but looking for the friendliness.
Right?
Yes. Cool. Well, that sounds like a good plan.
I know. So I wonder, are you going to join me in being that 1% of the 10% and noticing that a complaint can be just flipped on its head?
Yes. I am.